Hello, everybody. Hello to everybody there in the live chat. So great to see you. Good morning. Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening. Depending on where you are, the lovely members who are there as well. Great to see you. Big thank you to the mods today. We have a lot to get through. They're going to be so busy today because it's a multi-video day here at Scientology Life After a Cult. Nancy's here and Mama Opal's here and Are You Jellin is here. So we are ready to jam and get going. I'm Natalie. This is Scientology Life After a Cult, where we share the Scientology news. It has the internet buzzing. I touch on my 35 years in Scientology, leaving with 3 generations of my family. I do added videos and interviews and collaborations throughout the week. So when you hit the subscribe button, you want to make sure that you hit that little notification bell as well and set it to all so we can just rain notifications for you. I hope that happens. Sometimes I even get them myself. Everybody who's already here, I'd love it if you go show that like button some love as well. All right, let's get into it because we have got all kinds of news. I'm telling you, there are rumblings and there are more than rumblings. There are Scientology celebrities distancing themselves from Scientology in ways we've not seen before. I mean, some of it we've seen before, but this is going to be a day of tea. Let me just tell you that, because here on the recap, we're going to get into some of that news. Oh, No Nora is going to jump in because we are going to talk about her last couple videos because they really spilt the tea. She's going to jump in. We're going to talk about it here. And Oh, No Nora and I are going to do another video later today, probably around 11 a.m. Central Time. Look for the notification. And I'm going to be jumping on with Aaron at Growing Up in Scientology this afternoon because, guys, there's a lot to talk about and cover. We're going to hit some key highlights right now. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Let's kick it off with a little bit of Dear Scientologist from PTS for Life. He is over there bringing it, doing lots of protesting, not just in Canada, but he's been out to Portland. He's been out to Seattle, and then, of course, all over Canada. And this is a little short that was put together on his channel, and we're going to take a look at it. Love that. I just love that. I love their Dear Scientologist series that they're doing over at PTS for Life. Such powerful messages included in there. I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. The SP chef must be here because I'm seeing him. Hello, darlings, in there. So he must be here. Good to see you, Samuel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Oh my God. And by the way, Samuel, you're going to love today because like I said, we are spilling some tea here today. And I've got 2 more collaborations later today with Oh No Nora and Aaron. And we're going to even spill even more. It's just, we're bubbling tea. It's just spilling over the edges. It's coming out sideways. And it's a great day for it too. Just get all like pumped up about it. I am tired, I got to say a little bit. It was a late night and I was up early. We had storms here in my area and I got this warning about the storms. You know how you get them on your phone and you know you're kind of busy and maybe doing it like a little bit too much maybe. I look at the warning, right? And I'm like, okay. And I look at the map and I go, okay, got to batten down the hatches, got to get ready for this. But you know what? I think I can get a shower in before this happens. And it was a race against the clock, but it happened. It happened. Sometimes you got to do what you do to get those showers in. But yeah, I thought that was funny. Okay, Let's talk about Jay. Jay was on Growing Up in Scientology yesterday doing an interview with Aaron, and Jay shares a bit about like his inspiration of why he's doing this and what that looks for him now and what he thinks about it. Let's take a little peek at that and then we'll talk about it.
I am literally in the perfect place in my life to take on an opportunity like this. Why am I not using my voice right now? And the moment I tried it, it was just like, God, this is incredible. And I have not turned back since. It's been an incredible experience from the community everywhere across the internet, in real life. The people that the friends and people I've met and learned in my journey so far. It's again, Scientology, as Natalie says, the gift that keeps on giving. Like, I would never have had the opportunity to make all these wonderful connections and beautiful friends and see all these excellent places if they hadn't structured this terrible organization for me to speak out against. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
The gift that keeps on giving is a really good description of Scientology these days.
It is true. And it is true, right? Every day. I'm telling you, we're getting to the point where, you know, I often have the thought of like, maybe I should just do a second recap so I can keep up. I like doing other interviews and collaborations, but I'm leaning. You guys tell me what you think about that, right? Just do you think it's time where we add a second one during the day, or I just keep up with doing a little bit deeper dive into some of these things and collaborate with other people in the community? And there's some deeper dives I want to get into myself too. I have a whole list of questions. I have so many questions. All right. Did you see Mark Bunker and Tori Magoo? You guys know who they are. They've been around for a long time, big history, OGs in the world of protesting and exposing Scientology. They did a collaboration yesterday. Mark has been using 4K technology to bring forth many of these gems and videos from back in the day of working with Tori Magoo and others with the Lisa McPherson Trust. Well, Mark sat down and did this kind of like a reaction video with Tori reacting to early Tori. And I thought it was super cool. We are going to take a look at it. That same passion that she had then is still there. It really comes through. Give this a little listen, you guys.
Walls. Come on, stand up for Christ's sake. Say what you feel. Come on out here. Come on over. We're having a good time. I'm telling you, it feels good to be able to think. That's the other thing that church does. You stop thinking. And you know what it starts with? Keeping Scientology working. That's the most amazing thing to me. It starts with that, because don't get off that path. God forbid you get off that path. You might think a thought. You might go somewhere else. You might get off the path of the bridge to total freedom. So think for yourself. Look for yourself. Have the courage to stand up and do it. And thank you. And call me anytime you want. I'm here. I'm having a good time. Anyway, take care. We will be in touch. Ciao.
All right. Well,
that was so good to see.
Sure. So you have not stopped sharing your story ever since then.
She has not. She has not stopped sharing her story. It's really neat to see. And it's really interesting because you go back and you watch these videos with Tori Magoo, different protests that were happening specifically even in Clearwater with the Lisa McPherson Trust. And you see some of the same tactics, but some different ones as well. Tori Magoo, 44 here on YouTube, she's often talked about how back in the day they would, speak to the protesters, try to have conversations. That has really changed. And it has not changed in a good way, just in ways that continue to make Scientology look even more culty. Now, did you see DOA? I do believe it was on his channel, The Lore of DOA, sat down with a detective who was looking into the incident that happened when he had that barbecue on Hubbard Way. Do you guys remember that? Wasn't that long ago. He was all set up to feed the community, and a prominent Scientologist, someone touted, held out there as an example of what Scientology can do, was there with a couple of friends on Scientology property, parked on Scientology property, and then proceeded to stand in witness as one of their friends came by and shoved and knocked over all of DOA's stuff. So he sat down with a detective about this, and I was so I couldn't believe they let him video it. I thought this was interesting. We're going to take a little look at that.
I'm looking at the incident with your barbecue.
Yes.
That incident.
Okay.
So there's stuff that's been posted on YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's pieces.
Yeah.
And it does me no good.
Yes.
I need the full videos.
Okay.
So are they super large to send?
They're like 7 hours. It's a.
Yeah, but the incident didn't last 7 hours.
No, it didn't. But
Okay.
it would be edited if I edited it down to that part, if that makes sense.
Okay. So is there a way to show
I could give you a
the
timestamp.
timestamp? Perfect. As long as
absolutely.
it's timestamped from when it started.
Yeah.
Until it ends.
Yeah.
Then that's good. And then we don't need the 7 hours. I just need was it like 30 minutes at the most?
Yes, I believe it was about 50 minutes from when the actual incident happened till the police actually came.
Okay, perfect. So I think evidence.com, which is the website we use to upload all our evidence.
The portal that I had to send the thing expired after like 3 days.
Okay. I'm looking at the
Interesting. Link down below to this and all the videos that we're going to take a little look at so you can go watch them in their entirety. Because remember, when we do these recaps, it is just a taste, a sip, a glance. You really want to just jump all in and see them all. I hear you, Amy. I'm cautiously optimistic about this detective. And you know what my hope is too, is that because he did live stream it, this has been shared on the internet, that maybe not, but maybe the public attention brought to this, that there is an investigation, maybe other people will ask about it. You know what I'm saying? Could it put more pressure on them to actually do a proper investigation? I'm cautiously optimistic, as they say. So, but it is interesting. I'm glad that he was able to live stream it. It'll be interesting to see more of that. He also went over to, I think it was the Hollywood PD, where DOA found out about a form. If you guys recall, one of the times that he was improperly, unfairly arrested and detained, they held on to some of his personal property. It took forever just to get those black socks back. You guys remember the whole sock thing? He did finally, I believe, get them back. Didn't get back his computer, but got back the charger. I think there might be a phone he didn't get back too. I'm not 100% on that part. But he found a form that he could file that would help him actually get his stuff back, despite the fact that he has gone over and over and over again to the Hollywood LAPD to try to get his stuff back, to ask about it, to get help with it, all of that. Nothing was done. Well, he finds out that there is a form for this, and he goes and shares it with them.
Well, I think we're going to learn something today. I think so. How you doing, I'm doing great. I have an administrative order from the chief of police, March 17, 2022, and it states that there is a form 10.1003 for the return of property. And I'm believing that you might not know about it because you haven't told me about this form yet. And it's a way to. Yes, and this was an administrative order number 5, March 17th, 2022. I can show it to you.
10.10.03?
Yep, 10.1003. So maybe that's a problem why I can't get the property back, because I didn't fill out that form.
Form, you say? A specific number, you say? Oh, I don't know. I'm only sitting here and this is my job. Oh, yeah, weird. Hopefully it works for him and he's able to get that stuff back using that form. Yeah, they know about it. Like, what's the deal? What's the deal? I'm glad somebody let him know. It is pretty unbelievable, but not unbelievable at the same time, given all that we have witnessed, right, in these last several months. Oh, yep. See, Brian says too. Yep, they know about it. They know about it. They know the deal. Yeah, the form you never told me about, you know, that form. The one I've been asking about, trying to resolve this issue the whole time. All right. Now, we did share a couple of clips yesterday of a Hollywood council meeting that Jessica Palmadessa, Scientology out at Streets LA, literally Michael out of LA, Becky, that they were there. But we have a specific clip where we couldn't fully hear something out of LA was saying yesterday, and we wanted to highlight that. So we do have a clip from it. We're going to share that. This is from that meeting.
Well, we know some things are still continuing, like purification rituals. It's a lot for tonight. I know we only have 2 minutes. I plan on keep coming until I fully educate you on our concerns. But they have different things like auditing, and it's very inappropriate for children So is their purification rituals, very inappropriate for children. And I'm very concerned because there is no accountability, there is no transparency.
What I love about this is they only give her, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to speak. And she's like, I will be here 2-3 minutes at a time, let you know what the deal is until I've been able to fully educate you on what's happening. Absolutely love that. I agree, Carrie. Ada LA is such a powerhouse. She's been out there since the beginning as well in Hollywood, and I think at North Hollywood as well. We've seen her in other locations, and she does live in the community. So having that voice of members who live in the community, I think add another element of pushback, because they're also residents. There's accountability. There's a responsibility that your city leaders have to you specifically as residents of that community. So it's always fantastic to see them there. I agree. Antics of a mama squirrel. I agree. I stand alone. Welcome. Making your first live from Scotland. I have people from Scotland. I've shared before. My grandfather on my father's side was born there and moved to Hawaii with his family, was moved when he was 6 months old. Yes. But welcome. Great to have you here catching your first live from Scotland. I love that. All right. You guys remember yesterday where we shared a clip about, because I needed a gut check because I had feelings about it, a clip where Confident Chris is going down by the blue buildings and he comes across Apostate Alex from the UK and Mitch Brisker, who's also here on YouTube. And, I felt based on what I saw that Mitch was being rude, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. And then I thought, maybe it's just me. I'm overthinking it, whatever. Well, based on the overwhelming number of emails that I received in comments about this, I was not overthinking it. Thank you guys for the gut check. Even Utahology picked it up, put together some very interesting clips from Confident Chris and his recent streams, including this. And we're going to look at it and looking at it, backing it up a little bit. You know what? Let's look at it, then let's talk about it. I always want to just get into it, but I want to go ahead and show the clip first. So take a look.
The hell are they doing, bro?
See, this is what's interesting to me that I did not pick up on yesterday. It seems at first that Confident Chris mistakes Apostate Alex and Mitch Brisker for being Sea Org members who are doing some type of recording, because he doesn't recognize who they are. And you know what? It just gives that energy too. Or I'm specifically talking about Mitch. Based on what I saw, I mean, Alex was trying to be friendly, that you could see there. But look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
What is he? Not the camera crew. Y'all are fair game. Not the camera crew. Not the camera crew. How's it going? What y'all documenting? Pretty good? How y'all doing?
Yeah,
Y'all documenting Scientology or?
Yeah, 100%.
We do the same thing. We're here every day, man.
I watch you guys on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Hey, can you guys give me some room? Oh, yeah, sorry.
What? Mitch chases Solomon away because he's in his way? That was outrageous.
Oh, okay.
Hey, can you guys give me some room? Oh, yeah, sorry. Hi, everyone.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, just this way. I'm not live streaming because I've just run out of battery, but otherwise it would be. Thanks, babe.
All right.
Who is this person? She's completely covered up. She obviously doesn't want to be recognized. Very strange.
Otherwise it would be. Thanks, babe.
All right. That's good. Keep it up. What's going on over here?
If you wouldn't mind. Thank you so much.
Those are X's. Oh, okay.
Where's everyone else? There's only a bunch of you. Everyone's coming tonight. Okay, cool.
I'm probably heading out in a little bit, but
When I charge my phone when I get back, I'll come back for me for this and then maybe. I'll text you to see if she's going to come down.
oh, okay.
If we come down together, please.
All right. Those are ex-members. Look at what he's doing. What in the royal family is this?
What in the royal family is this? I also, when I watched the clip earlier, did not catch that other person in there with a mask on who doesn't want to be identified. And that's fine. Not everybody has to be identified when protesting Scientology, if that's what they're doing. I have no idea. And I think that's kind of the point, is it's like, well, what are you doing? Why are you there? And do we really need to be rude like that? I do not think so. Specifically, Mitch, I did not think that Alex was being rude. Sounds like he was trying to, make conversation and be cordial. And I think a lot of you agree with that too. Alex was cordial, but Mitch, bro. Yeah. Yeah, just very interesting. Very interesting. Seems culty, Mitch. Mitch is still stuck in the mindset that he's David Miscavige's biatch. The arrogance. That was the vibe. That was the vibe. And that, that is the thing that rubs me the wrong way there. It really does. It really does. Nancy says, hell no. Antics of a Mama Squirrel said, thinks he's used to ordering people around. I mean, it could be. Send to Scientology. Mitch, please. I'm crazy in head. I don't think Mitch is ever not rude. Yeah. And you know what? Some people just, they are who they are. And like, okay, all right. I just want so much. Like, I feel like there's potential there. He even has information based on the large amount of time that he spent with David Miscavige that can be valuable to continue to share. But it's hard. It's difficult to want to sit down and have a conversation and do that when, behavior like this. You know what it reminds me of is that, when people are in a restaurant, how they treat people who are helping them or waiting on them, who are providing a service. And I think that really shows somebody's true character when they don't think it's anybody who can do something for them. How are they treated? But then when it's somebody who could do something for them, or, a larger streamer like Confident Chris, when Mitch found out that's who that was. Oh, I didn't know who that was. I wish I knew. I would have introduced myself. It's like, no, it shouldn't matter. They're people, they're human beings. They're obviously live streamers and protesting there. This has been going on because you've criticized it. And that is kind of the thing too. Like, this was such an opportunity to maybe mend some bridges, right? Participate in the protests. Alex does protests out in the UK all of the time. And maybe he's still in town. Maybe that will still happen. I don't know. I don't think that Mitch is necessarily going to be doing that. We've not seen it. I think it would be a good thing if he did, but that ship may have sailed. It might just be too late at this point. I don't know. I think so. It's a lot. It's a lot. And it's definitely something that I'm going to have to ask Nora more about. Oh, no, Nora, when she joins us in just a little bit. Now, you guys, Danny's impact on his stream. Let's back it up a little bit. So first off, we've been covering the last few days that there's been a couple of publications have been putting forth this narrative that Tom Cruise's community, Scientology community, is butthurt because he's just not hanging out there. He's not showing them any love. He's not showing up and giving the Tom Cruise wave. Good job, guys. None of that stuff, right? Well, we can look at this a few different ways. One, Tom Cruise is really all about Clearwater, Florida flag. He is at the top, the pinnacle, the top of the auditing side of Scientology's bridge to total freedom. And you know what? He only needs to be doing that in Florida. So when I saw this, and many of you saw it and went, is that Tom Cruise? Is he in LA? Is he trying to counteract the butthurtness? Was there truth to the butthurtness? I don't know. I think it was. Let's take a look at this video. And you guys tell me what you think. And I'm going to tell you what I think. Let's watch this. So first we have the security guard, right? And you know what? I'm just going to mute the audio so I can talk over it because there's really not a lot of audio, just some birds. So we have the security guard. He's giddy. Look at him. Looking at his phone, putting his phone away. It's almost like a nervous tick. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get a little nervous and you look at your phone, you pull out your phone, that kind of a thing. That's the vibe. That's what I'm seeing. You guys tell me in the chat. If you're catching this on the replay, there is no slacking. You jump into those comments. You ask your questions. You tell me what you think. So this guy looks a little giddy. How often do we see Scientologists or staff, or if this is security, smiling? We don't. Let's be honest, right? We just don't see that. But suddenly this dude's kind of happy. And you know what? That's great. So he's looking over at Danny, who's videoing from a public area. Boom. Who is that? Now, on one hand, to me, he looks a little young, but this is a distance. It's from far away. He's wearing a hat and sunglasses. You guys tell me, do you think the height is right? He's looking over at Danny with a camera. Now there's Odo, and this is the other reason, the thing that made me think maybe could it have been? Because Odo seems outright gleeful. I mean, he seems, he's kind of smiling. There seems to be a little bit of levity there. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. The nose from this angle, what little we can see. Let's see. Or I already had it bigger. I don't know. A little bit of the mannerisms seem a little familiar, like that nose too. But, I don't know. He's fit. And then this part too, the wave. The wave. Right? If he saw someone with a camera, he might think that's paparazzi. Another Scientologist sees him and they start filming. I don't know. So some of you are saying that's him. Some saying not. Carolyn's like, that pose too. Power Lies to Paralyze says that's him. I don't. Deanna Ross, are those tattoos on his arms? Girl, you got a good eye there. You got a good eye. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's a way to actually, hold on. How do you see that? I'm just like so surprised. Oh, I see what you're kind of saying. Okay. Odo shuffling around, hands in his pockets. It's just, I don't know. That's another thing. Let's add that to our list of things to ask Nora about as well when she joins us here. Yeah, antics of a mama squirrel's like, yes, that's him. Huh. Okay, now Sean saying that there's a new kid, someone ID him, 16-year-old family came from Canada. Sean, are you talking about the person we're looking at or just a whole nother like side convo here? Sandra OT420 is like, not sure. Zoom in the smile. Looks like it. It does. Right, Mena? Right? It totally looks like him. I know. And you're right, Brenda. He could have lift in his shoes, and that's why he looks taller. Sidebar, people. Osa, wake up. All of you get over and hit that like button for this video. Thank you so much. Little reminder there. Thank you guys too in the chat for reminding me of that. Yes, profile looks like him. That's what I thought. Okay, Don's saying, yeah, TC in the house. Okay, so here's the deal. If that is him, is this a response to your LA people are not getting any love and we're butthurt about it because you're not coming around and, hanging out with us anymore? I don't know. Nash Vegas, hand gestures. That's what I thought too. Or if you really want to get conspiracy theory, is it a lookalike making it look like he's there? I don't know. I don't know how tall Odo is, so it's kind of hard to, compare the two. But I love it. I'm gonna have to catch up on these comments and see what you guys think here, what you're saying. I was thinking that, Sandra. I know we have a few people in the community who track Tom Cruise's plane. So if you could do that, could you share that information with us? That's something that could also maybe help to confirm in some way. Ellie, thank you so much. Room raid from Denver. Jay, welcome everybody. So great to have you here. Hit that like button on your way in and make sure you check your subscribe as well. Tracy in Tulsa. Osa, can you help? Is that your leader's love muffin? Is that your little stud muffin? He's out if it is. He's out and about. Tinkerbomb, thank you so much. Love from Jay DSA. Thank you, guys. Okay. So this is interesting. I'm being photo video bombed. Thank you, my love. Do you want to say hi?
I just want to say something.
You want to say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi everybody. I wanted to say thank you to everyone sending me cards and love and prayers. And I mean, it's like I don't want to be long here, but I want to give these flowers to all of you. If I could, I would. Please accept all of these flowers from me to you as a thank you for everything you're doing for Natalie and for myself. And things are going good.
Thanks, babe. I'll let him know. I said anytime. Thank you, Nancy. Anytime that he wants to pop on in, just go ahead when he feels like it. So there we go. And Tony, got to catch up on the messages in the chat for you. And truly, yes, he brings a very good point. Thank you guys so much. Everybody who's been sending things off the Amazon wish list. We've been really creating a space. If you're new to the channel, my Tony's been going through cancer treatment. He's doing chemo and immunotherapy. And we've just been trying to think of what are things we can do and arrange at home to make them more comfortable. And we put some of those things out on the Amazon wish list, and it's been amazing. We're setting up a whole spa area and one recliner and his music stuff so he can play guitar when he feels up to it. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you guys for that. Absolutely. We feel the love and appreciate you so much, so much. All right, let's go to San Francisco, because did you guys see, you guys know Ashley Andrews, she has been out there along with other people live streaming and protesting, and she was swatted not that long ago. And you know what happened? She got served. She got served by a Scientologist out front in Scientology after asking if she could do a personality test. Take a look at this. Let's pull this up. I couldn't believe it. Boom. You're served. You're served. From the Scientologist. Check it out.
Or is he just busy? Oh, I guess I do. Can I take a personality test? Excuse me, can I take a personality test? Ma'am, can I what is this?
You've been served.
With what? Look at this. Let's see what this is. She said you've been served. With what, girl? Oh, wow, okay. Look at that. Hold on. Or is he just been?
You've been served. You're served. It's like, you got to be nasty about it. How about just here? You've been served. You've been served. It's just too much with these people. I just cannot. I cannot. All right. So that was San Francisco. This hair is out of control today. We've got the, hold on. We need to turn on the second menopause fan, because especially when Tony comes around, I just get a little heated. All right. Carrie, good point. Now, what would LRH have to say about rejecting a person seeking a personality test? What would LRH do? Alan, thank you so much for that. From what I can tell, Tom's plane landed at Palm Beach on the May 19th. Okay, so this video, was it yesterday? Was the 21st? And Palm Beach, is that, somebody tell me, is Palm Beach, Florida, or is that California? Palm Beach. What am I confusing that with? In California, Palm Beach. I got the lack of sleep brain fog. You guys got to help me out. Tell me where that is, because we're gonna look a little bit more into that. Florida? Okay, cool. So that was on the 19th. All right. Could be part of the missing puzzle. That was Sunday, but video was yesterday, Tuesday. Okay, so Sandra, OT420, is saying that was Sunday. So the plane landed in Florida on Sunday, but the video was yesterday, Tuesday. So is there Palm Springs? That's what I'm yeah. Thank you guys so much. It's like you guys can read my mind. We are just so connected. Yeah, so he's in the States. We know that. We know that. All right. So let's see. Let's go over to St. Louis, because there was this interesting conversation from a distance that L. Ron Lyer caught on video. And it's just these things that make you wonder, like, so apparently this is a Sea Org member who is speaking to a public Scientologist, and more than likely trying to get him to do something, or more accurately, there really are only two reasons why a Sea Org member, especially in an org like that, would be talking to you. It's to get you to pay money, or to get you to join staff, or join the Sea organization. But L. Ron Lyer kind of zoomed in on this, and I think had some similar questions like, what's happening here? What's going down? Is this conversation going well? Is she just like, hey, come donate to the Ideal organization? You should join staff. I know you're thinking about retirement, but this is Scientology. We never stop. Just be here for the team. And I don't know. Maybe he's like, no, I don't know. You know what? I try. I dance on the weekends. I do my best to stay in shape, but I'm not sure I can like climb the stairs up in there. I just don't know. And now she's like, what? Come on. You can do it. Use your OT powers. You're a fabulous being. Love bomb, love bomb, love bomb. I don't know. This is just the kind of thing where I wish I could I could see, but it's almost more fun to try and make up what they are actually talking about. Like, isn't there I feel like that's a YouTube channel or something I'd seen before, where that one with where they have all the sports players and their mouths are moving, but they're dubbing it with other things, but it looks like it matches that correctly. Caroline. No, ma'am, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. Yes, Andrew, full court sales press there. Even from a distance, it's a vibe. Bad lip reading. Yes, that is the one. Look, we are so in tune today, you guys. We are so in tune. I agree. I agree with you. Yeah, full court sales press. That is what's happening. You can really feel it even from that distance. Now, something else that happened to L. Ron Lyer while he was out there is the police recall. Scientology really likes to call the police on him, but here's the deal. Every time the police come, it's another opportunity to educate them on the abuses of Scientology.
How you doing?
I was just called out here, okay?
Yeah. Hey, Ren. For what purpose?
Well, they said you were in the driveway, but this is public property, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I chalk and then I stand aside.
Yeah.
I mean.
I know. I've seen you before.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's your right. Absolutely.
Right on. Right on.
People just don't like it.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm trying to educate. So I'm not out here just spouting stupid stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything I'm saying is factual. None of it is based on my theories. This is coming from people that were in the church. Everything I'm talking about is coming from ex-members, and not just one or two. I'm talking like hundreds. So everything I'm saying out here, all 100% true. I'm not spouting any garbage. I'm not shouting any BS. Everything I am saying, whether they want to believe it or not, is happening and goes on in their criminal enterprise. So I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, and by all means, as long as, and I'm sure as long as you're on city property,
right.
It's your right.
Right.
Right. And that's that.
All right.
I'm gonna wait for my partner to get here.
Okay.
That's and okay. I'm not gonna bribe you. So
cool. Well, I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Do you have a card?
No, I do.
I love how he's like, well, and that's that. Long as you are not on their property, long as you stay on public property, that's that. You do you, boo. That's what I heard. Yes. So please, Scientology, continue to body route the officers over to people like L. Ron Lyer and other protesters who can then educate them on Scientology and what's happening. Because that stuff might work differently in Los Angeles or Chicago and very few places, but in the vast majority of places further away from the major grips of Scientology, they know what's up. They know what's up. They do. They do. They do. And every time you send them to interact with protesters, they find out. They find out what the real deal is. Now, over in Vancouver, Moose on the Loose. You guys know his channel. He's been out at, was it Seattle? Somewhere else, I think, too. But he was out in Vancouver recently and grabbed did some protesting outside, grabbed a little look at what was happening. There was a woman in there. Don't know if she's a Scientologist or a new person, what's happening. But he was outside. Let's see what happened.
You have your own mind, and it's free. It is free. Don't believe them. Did you see what she was doing? It's a cult. Don't ever go in there.
Letting people know as they go by too. It's a cult. Don't ever go in there. Don't ever go in there. All right. Let's see. Could you see a goldenrod paper, Anna? Are we talking about the same thing in that video? What's on the goldenrod papers? Or do you mean in general? In general, they tend to be ethics orders on goldenrod paper. Suppressive person declares are mostly well known for being on that goldenrod paper. Carla A, hip hip hooray! Thank you so much for gifting 5 Scientology Life After Occult memberships. Thank you for that. Now we get to see it rain in the chat memberships. I love it so much. Thank you so much. Hip hip hooray! That's right, Zippy. That is right. All right, let's check out. Okay. Let's go talk about this Aaron Kyro situation. And it is a situation, my friends. Over a month ago, I don't even remember the exact time, he came back, fired back, as they say in Scientology, to San Francisco Scientology as the executive director. To do what? To run Scientology in San Francisco, which is what he has been doing. Now, Aaron, at Growing Up in Scientology, did a video really putting it out there that Aaron Kyro, who also owned and runs Braille Skateboarding, which is big on YouTube, he's been around for a long time, is also running Scientology in San Francisco. This is something that Aaron Kyro has tried to distance himself from. He's done the little Scientologist scoot over, like, no, what? Not answering questions when he was directly asked in an interview about running Scientology. He, there in San Francisco, his answer was, I don't run Scientology, like in overall. Yeah, we know you don't run Scientology across the planet. That's David Miscavige, not you, but you do in San Francisco, not answering the questions. This is the same organization. Remember that Ashley Andrews just got handed a restraining order, whatever that was, right? Been served with papers outside. You know what? I don't know if that was a restraining order or not. So I actually, brain fog, don't recall. So you guys tell me. But she was served with papers from Scientology. That's outside the San Francisco org. Do you notice that they're kind of aggressive there? They also don't like that DOA and others have found leaked documents from San Francisco org written by Aaron Kyro showing he runs Scientology and what his plan is there for expansion of Scientology. So Aaron Kyro went into this video on his Braille channel trying to do damage control because apparently, as all of this was coming up and blowing up about him running Scientology and these deep Scientology ties, there were people key in his Braille skateboarding organization that were like, I'm out. I am out. And others in the community noticed that. And they have been talking about this in the skateboard community. So first, let's take a little look at a clip from the video that Aaron Kyro did on the Braille channel, trying to do the damage control. And I'm just not sure that it worked out that way. Take a look at this.
That I'm trying to do here is grow skateboarding, teach you on the other end of that computer screen how to ride a skateboard. That's the #1 focus. Now, second to that, we'll be bringing in a new audience in to teach them how to ride a skateboard. So I definitely want to get out. I definitely want to go to skate parks more. I definitely want to do community events more and various things like that that just involve the community.
Okay. This disturbs me a little bit because what is he talking about? Oh, you know what? I just want to teach people how to skateboard. I know people are bailing that have been with me for years because now I'm running Scientology in San Francisco. But don't look over there. I want to get out into the community. I want to do more teaching people skateboarding. That might sound like it's all very innocent, but what do we know? Scientology themselves have put out propaganda showing other people in the skateboard community who are Scientologists using that as a recruitment tool. And my first thought is like, are you going to be out in the community? Like, are you going to stick to skateboarding? Because your mission in life is to expand Scientology and your primary objective is to get new people into Scientology, especially children. Why? Because if you catch them young enough, they're easier to train rather than take somebody who's well into adulthood and has established some of their own values. They're a little bit harder to train and indoctrinate. Not impossible, obviously, but it can be harder. Let's go after those. Let's go after them kids. This is kind of how it comes across to me. So let's take a little bit more of a look at this.
Because I love, love, love that. And that's what keeps me going. That's what inspires me. That's where we're at. There are big changes afoot. So do not expect a daily video from this point forward. If you do get a daily video, that was a very strange week. There might be some times where that occurs, but most likely there will not be a daily video. And for all the people that are going to say, this is the end of Braille, this is the end, you know, I am going to keep making these videos until the wheels fall off. And right now the wheels are still on, we're still rolling, and we're keeping pushing. The thing that I'm trying to do here is gross.
Yep. I just cannot trust that this is just about skateboarding, because your whole thing is to get new people into Scientology. It's no, not buying it. Need to keep an eye on this. And I'm also happy that the skateboarding community is waking up to this, including other creators here on YouTube have been covering this connection with Braille Skateboarding, Aaron Kyro, and Scientology. This isn't just he's a Scientologist, right? This is the man running Scientology in San Francisco in their ideal organization. It is a big deal in the world of Scientology. But yeah, something's up. And I love how he says it's, I'm going to do this until the wheels come off. He knows where this is going. The wheels are coming off. Key people in his organization have already left. I suspect in protest of these deep ties to Scientology, wanting to distance themselves, because this is the theme, distance themselves. Let's see here. We are going to look at a couple of Reddit comments about this too that I found very interesting. And Nora, if you're there, I do not see you in the back end. So I want to make sure that I sent you the right link and you're not sitting somewhere else. So Nora, I'm going to put the link in the chat. This chat is for Nora, who's going to be popping in here. Because I did text her and she said she was there, but I don't see you. I don't see you backstage. All right. So meanwhile, let's go look at this. Oh, wait, I heard a click. I think Nora's popping in. We're going to chat with her in just a second. Now I can see you, Nora. All right, you guys, this was after, right about the time where he did that video. And apparently somebody named Gabe, who's very key in his organization, been there 10 years, has left as well. Somebody named Uzi. All these changes at Braille seemingly coincide with the announcement that Aaron Kyro is now the leader of Scientology in San Francisco. Frankly, I think it's a wrap. I never expected Gabe to leave. I thought he would be the last to go. And these comments just really go on sharing their surprise about these ties and really kind of mourning the loss of these people who have left, and that they don't think that the organization can survive without these people who were there, who helped grow it, build it to make it what it is. Aaron Kyro himself, of course, has a key role, being that it is his business. But yeah, if you get a chance, I'll link this down below. There are some very interesting comments here. There really are. And a lot of questions about his ties to Scientology. So I'm going to show you a clip of a video from Oh No Nora. And trust me, we're going to keep going and looking into this Aaron Kyro thing as well. But there is more to talk about because Oh No Nora did a couple of videos actually calling this out. And let's look at this here because you know how Scientology just loves their propaganda and loves to put out when celebrities are there at their events. It's not something that we're going to see that, they're hiding. But are they? What's happening here? Take a look at this.
So there's John Travolta. There's Elizabeth, super prego. You can see that. I guess that's Trish next to him. And then that's Jason Doring. That might be Jason Doring's mom. Hi, Summer. He's old. And yeah. So then we get to this photo. Can I click on you?
You notice who's
We'll
gone.
open it in a new tab. Come on. And that, why can't I? Help me, I'm poor. Okay, here we go. We'll zoom. I figured it out, guys. Look at me, technologying. So then there's Jason Doring. But then where did John Travolta go? That was his seat. He was right there.
And Elizabeth Moss as well. We're seeing some strange things, and we are going to talk to Nora about it right now. Welcome, Oh No Nora.
Hey, it's early in the morning, but I showered for you guys, so I just want you to know I'm clean.
Honored. I did not, but I'm pretty sure I showered. Oh, I did shower yesterday. I got it in right before a storm hit us. Okay, so
before we talk about this clip, I want to comment about the celebrity sighting in LA very quickly, because while you were doing that, I was like blew up the video on my 37-inch screen and went through it and all this stuff. It's not Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Why? Because Odo is tall. Odo's almost 6 feet tall, and that guy was about the same height. So there's no way it was Tom Cruise. Also, if Tom Cruise had been there, they would have had way more security. It would not have just been Odo and whoever guard number 3 is, right? Like that would not have happened. My guess is that it's either Jason Doring or Brando Christensen, who is one of the twins, who's the younger brothers, Brando and Dane, of Erica. So more likely it's Jason Doring.
Of Erica? No,
Yeah,
Erica
Christensen. She has 3 brothers. She has an older half brother, Nick, from her dad's previous marriage. And then she has 3 full sibs, and 2 full sibs, Brando and Dane, who are her younger twin brothers. And they've both done acting and stuff as well. So as far as I know, the Christensen family is still very much in. Apparently she was tied to some cyclist, Cole something or other, where she was rumored to be getting married to him. It could have been that guy because they're bringing him in. But also, it does indicate it was kind of somebody special because they're going in the back. But it wasn't a major, to do, because Tom Cruise, they would have had security from Celebrity Center. Also, he wouldn't be going to PAC. Like, no offense, Nat, I know you're a PAC person, but when did Tom Cruise ever come to PAC?
Not that I'm aware of. He was
exactly.
just
No, he's like, ew, the poors. No.
Yeah. It's interesting though to me that that kind of like that energy and the movements and some of the mannerisms were similar to Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that some of these younger celebrities in Scientology, that Tom Cruise is the epitome of what they are molding themselves after?
Oh, sure. Jason Doring, absolutely. He's had if you ever watch Veronica Mars, it's a great show. And for a while, I was really scared that he had gotten Kristen Bell into Scientology, which would have made me really sad. But of course he didn't, because she's famously talked about being on antidepressants, and she makes a whole line of CBD creams. So I'm pretty sure not a Scientologist at this point.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me, even those similarities.
Yeah.
Can we
Just the profile and everything? If you look at a picture of Jason Doring, he has a similar profile, as so does Brando, of Tom Cruise with the prominent nose kind of a thing, and they're all very like thin. That's why I also think it's Jason and not Tom, because Tom, as he's aged, has gotten this like barrel-y chest. I don't know if he's gotten like pec implants or something. I wouldn't put it past him, but like he's just like very barrel-y, and that guy was very just slim.
Yeah, a little bit more proportioned.
Yeah,
and you're right. A lot of what we're seeing with Tom Cruise, it is very like, that's a great way of explaining it. It's very much like, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah. So I feel like not him, but that would be a twist. But you would never see him without like the security chief with him, and Odo's not the security chief. So
Yeah.
he gets top-notch security plus additional bodyguards. He has 85 bodyguards that are enormous men. So anyway,
That's
let's get
true.
back
And when
to-
he used to show up even at celebrity centers, I
Oh,
mean, they
yeah.
would shut down the elevator. You weren't allowed to get on the elevator if he was
Correct.
there.
Yeah.
None of that.
No. And he would be being escorted by somebody from the president's office also. So it would be a whole entourage with him if he were to come to the Pacifica base. And you might even see David Miscavige with him because they're besties.
Best friends forever. Maybe not.
Yeah.
So that is interesting, especially
Yeah.
the way that, like I said, it really feels like they're trying to mold themselves and follow in the footsteps and the mannerisms and be like Tom Cruise.
Do you remember in the Sea Org when The Last Samurai came out, like all the guys started growing their hair out? And they were like, yes, I'm going to have the Tom Cruise hair. Whatever haircut Tom had in a movie, all of the guys of the Sea Org would emulate that haircut, and just be like, that's the hairstyle right now. So that was okay because there's very strict flag orders about hairstyles for men and women.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be above the shoulders. So everyone was like, oh, I could grow it like just here and I'll look like him, Yeah.
Never quite worked out that way, though. It did not. It did not. So we touched on how at that event, because in your previous video, you touched on the missing L1 Hubbard birthday event of 2022, but you also touched on showing that there's images of John Travolta and Elizabeth Moss being in the front row, and then there's not.
Yeah.
It's just, not randos, because I think Jason Doring was one of them who you mentioned, other celebrities in Scientology, but we're not seeing like back in the day where it was one after the other in the front row. What's happening? What is your take on this?
Well, I think people are starting to realize that their public, online presence with Scientology has to be monitored. But like my take on it was, why is he scrubbing this event? Right? Like why the 2022 event of all events? There's plenty of them that are stupid. Now, somebody in my chat yesterday came up with a brilliant idea, is that in that event, I didn't realize this was part of the event. That was the event where he announced that Scientology had handled homelessness in Portland.
The 2022?
Yeah, the 2022 event.
That's
That was where
right.
he had said that. And I'm like,
And
yeah, because
crime.
we're out there every day. I'm handing out homeless packs. Now, this wouldn't be the first time David Miscavige did something because of me. It actually isn't. When I was the lowly word clearer at Celebrity Center, there's always a stat push every week. You have to have so many auditors made throughout the week, or else just terrible. You're going to be in beans and rice. So they were like, what course can you do in a week that will be an auditor's made? Because I'd already done like the TR's clay table instructor course. That counts as an auditor's made. Like I'd done everything I thought possible. So I'm going through check sheets, just looking at check sheets in the huge thing. And I find this one way in the back that was a group auditor course. I had done all the prerequisites and it was very fast. And I thought, okay, I can get through this in a week. No worries. I'll be an auditor made. So on this course, you listen to 5 tapes that are nowhere else in Scientology. They're not on the briefing course. They're not anywhere else. And I thought, this is fascinating because of course, like everything that L. Ron invented, this is the thing that will handle planetary clearing, right? But he gives a really good reason for that. He's like, with group auditing, you can audit 2 people at once or 200,000 people at once, because you're engaging them in all the same thing, and you're, keying them out, you're freeing the theta, you're doing all this bullshit. And I thought to myself, this is actually right. Like, this would be, if we could get people group auditing at like baseball stadiums during the 7th inning stretch, or all these things, like I had like this stream of consciousness idea. So after I finished the course, I wrote this letter to COB while I was on the RPF. But basically I was like, dear sir, I have the key to planetary clearing. And I wrote this
First, I think, because we don't want to gloss over this, the idea that as a lowly Sea Org member,
right,
on the rehabilitation project force, you're basically like in jail.
Yeah.
You're doing this from the chain gang. This is
Yeah.
like, you were the lowest of the low.
Yep.
No one would even show this to him.
Oh, no.
Because it would be considered in theta or bad news, because you're on the rehabilitation project force.
Right.
And
But I
have the
wrote him
solution
this
to planetary
lengthy letter about the group auditor course. And actually, did I write it before or after? I think I wrote it before I went to the RPF. Let me correct. I have to remember. But anyway, I had written him this, very flowery letter. I never got a response either way. And then while I was on the RPF, maybe that's what happened, I find out that he did an event and he announced the key to planetary clearing, the group auditor course. And he re-released it and did this whole thing about, how we have to get all these group auditors made, and this is going to be the key to planetary clearing, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, so I know he pays attention to what I say for whatever reason. And now I'm out there going like, look at all these homeless people. I'm going to actually give them something which Scientology doesn't. And then now we erased a whole event because he can't be made wrong for anything. Right. But also I pointed out the people that were at that event, super problematic. You've got Catherine Bell, who's the gay, probably the least of the 3 people that are problematic. You've got James Barber, who is a convicted pedo. And
so back that up a little bit. So James Barber, Scientologist, he was convicted.
Yeah. Yeah. He did time in 2008.
Okay. And he's there front row at a Scientology event.
Front row.
Now,
Front row.
I feel the need to point out that people who've been in the Sea organization, like myself and Nora, we are never allowed in the shot.
No.
We just doesn't matter. Even my best day in Scientology as a public person, volunteering, donating money, going up the bridge to total freedom. No, none of that mattered. Natalie, get out of the shot. You're a degraded being. You're an ex-Sea Org member. But let's put in the front row somebody convicted of harming children. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, right. So what? He got off the overt. He handled it. He had a session. It's all good. He's handled now. And then probably the most problematic for current events is Marisol Nichols, who has been very closely tied with Tim Ballard. They started the Slavery Free World organization so she can go play superstar commando chick and go save children from human trafficking. She's going to infiltrate in her own words, whorehouse. Like, how degrading to the people that you're supposedly helping. What are you doing? Like these women were, sex trafficked and put there under duress, and then you're still going to refer to them that way? Like, no manners. But she's on, Tim Ballard has had a lot of accusations. There was a rumor that they were dating for a while.
That Tim Ballard and Marisol Nichols were dating?
Yeah, that's how she got into the secret world of, human rescue. They were and you've seen interviews with them where they're like, we're a 1-2 punch. I'm an ex-special forces and we've got an actress that's what we needed. We needed an actress to go in there and infiltrate because, we were having such a hard time blending.
And from what I've found too, did you catch yet Cults to Consciousness? She did a great video about it with somebody who had a lot of close connections to that whole story with Tim Ballard and the
I'm in the middle of watching that. It is fascinating.
Oh, they dish. We're gonna have to talk about that more too when we
Yeah.
get together later today.
But it's just the whole event thing is so problematic because, you know, like Erica Christensen, as an example, because we mentioned her earlier, she was pictured there, but it's like, where has she even been? What is she even doing? You know, like she did Parenthood. That's a big thing. Now she's on that show, Mr. What's his face with the detective guy on Fox. He has a little chihuahua.
Riverdale, Riverside.
No, not River. That's Marisol. Marisol's on Riverdale. I mean, at least recently she looks like, you know, she's getting less Botox and stuff like that. No, Erica's on that show.
Oh, Erica Christensen. She did that show about she was married to a wealthy guy and he dies and something happens. I started watching it and then forgot what streaming platform it was on and never started again.
No, now she's on, what is this show? And the detective is always carrying around his little chihuahua.
Trent Williams.
Yes. That's that. Will Trent. Will Trent. The show she's on right now. It's a good show. People like it, you know, and this guy who's the main actor who plays Will Trent, he just always has this little teeny, like, you know, attitude chihuahua with him as like his gimmick. You know, it's like the Columbo with the, you know, Yul Brynner on, not Yul Brynner, but, you know, what's his face? Kojak, who had the lollipops. And his gimmick is, you know, a chihuahua while he's detecting things. But, you know, I mean, besides that, you know, she's like the cleanest celebrity that they have because, again, born in, you know.
And you mean Erica Christensen.
Yeah, Erica. Same thing with Lizzie.
Yeah.
You know, Moss, born in. So they're really trying to like rope these guys back in to get something going because Tom is not, you know, he can't pull all the weight. Remember the meeting he had with Leah and all the celebrities, like, you guys got to get on board and like, you know, you're all in or I'm taking your celebrity status. Like, you're not going to work in this town again. You know, like, first of all, Tom is on thin ice in Hollywood. So I don't know what power he thinks he's wielding over all these people. You know, but like, he's not even out there stomping around like, I'm a Scientologist, you know, like. And then all the pictures of him with Connor and Bella right now, like, look at me, I'm America's dad. Like,
yeah, we see right through that. We see the PR handling. We can see the op in progress. Everything coming out with Suri turning 18 and it coming out that, you know, no doubt he financially supports her, but outside of that, nothing to do with her. Disconnection in action.
Like, it's insane. And good for her. Good for her for changing her name. Even if it's just professionally, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people have stage names that aren't their actual names. But good for her for being like, you know what? I'm 18 now. I'm claiming myself. And this is me. And I want nothing to do with that man. Like, don't ever put me in the same boat as him. And, you know, and then there's a rumor that Katie's doing a tell-all book, which I will be first in line to purchase.
Oh, completely. I still hope that's the case. And I kind of like have this theory, absolutely nothing to support it. It's total speculation on my part. I wouldn't doubt that with Suri turning 18 and maybe some financial thing expires and then you know, that her own people didn't be like, hey, you know, if you know, we just, a girl's got to eat. You got to be able to support yourself. And sometimes,
I mean, but let's be real. Like, Tom was paying like, you know, probably like $100,000 a month in child support and alimony.
Wow.
So I'm pretty sure Katie, with her background and her parents, was putting that in a Roth IRA. Okay.
And she's been working too. She's done movies and she's done other things herself as well.
Yeah. She doesn't need Tom. She doesn't need it. She probably put all that money aside and was like, that's for Suri later, and put it in an account. And Suri's going to be just fine. She's a smart girl. She's talented. She's going to go to college. She's going to do her thing, you know, and she'll be right as rain. There's 0% that I'm worried about that girl as a human being, only because she has a very savvy mom.
Yeah, that's very true. She's proven that. She stood up to Scientology and to Tom Cruise. She was really brave in what she did. I want to ask you before we have to wrap up about your thoughts on, you know, we shared a clip from Utology who put some things together with the whole when Confident Chris ran into Mitch. I can't even get it out because you're already like, ran into Mitch Brisker, and there was this exchange there. And it's kind of been a hot topic. I have just gotten so many emails about people having opinions on it. The vast majority saying the same thing, that it was very rude and disrespectful. And not just because Confident Chris is a prominent live streamer in the Scientology protest. It's just not how you communicate with human beings who are, if they're out there with a camera in Scientology, you know what they're doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, let me say two things. Mitch really didn't like my assessment of him as a typical LA person, but he is. And by that, I mean, like, I have lived a lot of places, guys, all over. And I've come in contact with people from all over the world. And there is a quintessential Los Angeles vibe, which is, I'm here, I'm important, who the F are you? Right? And also having worked on 2 reality shows, okay, where the directors were kind of gruff and they want things moved around and things like this. Directors in general are kind of dicks. Just, it's like, you know, if you want to be a director, this is why people don't respect female directors, by the way, because they are kind and they have, like, a conversation with you and they try to, okay, so in this scene, here's what we're going to do. And we're going to, like, and male directors are just like, hey, let's go. We're going to get the shot in 3, 2, boom, rolling, bop, bop, bop. And they're just like how Mitch had his hands on that guy and he was moving him. Now that would have been like if he had the equipment, that would have been more of a tracking, a shot done on actual tracks with a steady cam. So he was attempting to recreate a steady cam in the wild by holding him and moving the guy so that he could just focus on the shot. And then, he's moving him through space, right?
I was wondering what that was about. I wasn't totally, I thought maybe he was going to make sure he didn't run into trees or trip.
No, he's just making sure he's getting the right shot and that he's panning at the right pace because he wants a specific sweeping shot of the building and stuff for an effect because it's at an upward angle. He's doing, the classic Orson Welles and going this way. So it's just like he is, he is not, it's like everyone's like, oh, he's still in the Sea Org, he's still all these things. It's just literally the director, as we would say in Scientology, beingness. That is just how directors are. Do I think it's okay how he acted on a public street with people who he should recognize if he's paying attention? No. And also, like I said yesterday, just be kind in general. Like if you're taking up space in a public area where you see other people are also taking up space and you don't have a permit, the street's not blocked off, you're not doing like a formal shoot, then you should be like, hey, listen, guys, I want to get this really cool sweeping shot here. It's just going to take like a couple minutes. Would you mind if I like hog the sidewalk for a minute here while I do that? That would have been like a conversation where he would have been, real, but it was like, we're on a tight schedule, which means that he's paying this cameraman per hour and he only has this much time that he's paid for. Right. And so he's nervous. He's agitated. It's like, he only has
it did seem like that. And Menace, Menace comment here.
Yeah, Menace
swinging D so hard he nearly hit Solomon and Chris out of the way.
Yeah. What weirded me out about the clip wasn't actually Mitch's behavior because that's just Mitch. What weirded me out was Alex, who's marching around behind them with his arms behind his back, who's like, oh, I'm here and I can't live stream because I ran out of battery. Excuse me, sir, you do nothing but create content on the internet. How do you not have a battery pack? And why are you walking behind Mitch as if you're part of some entourage now with your arms behind your back? Like, oh yes, I watch you on the interwebs. I love your work. Like, first of all, you're not bigger than Chris. He's bigger than you. You should be like, oh, your confidence, Chris. Oh my God, I love your stuff. Again, also the interaction there was so inappropriate. Like, if you come across a streamer or anybody who's got a bigger platform than you, you are the small fish. And you have to, you have more subscribers than me. I'm grateful to be here, So it's like, you have to, give balance to things. When I go on with Aaron, he has 250,000 subscribers. That's a lot of people to reach. It's like, what are you doing? Who do you think you are?
Yeah, I had thought what really struck me about this was because this is coming after so many comments and conversations and even legitimate efforts to help him understand this is how you're coming across and this is why it's rubbing people the wrong way.
Yeah.
So if you could take a step back from that, and Marilyn just made a great comment. Mitch is very self-important and dismissive in my opinion. I don't think he understands how he comes across. Not an excuse though. And in the beginning, I was like, I even kind of took like that. Well, you know what? He just might not know how he's coming across.
Yeah.
And though he did not have the typical experience, he wasn't in the Sea organization. He was paid a decent amount of money to create these propaganda films for Scientology, worked directly with David Miscavige, probably has some great stories. But he just keeps continuing to have this, which now I'm just like, okay, this is just personality at this point. This is just who you are. It's not a matter of, he might just not know or understand. And there was like one comment that said, well, him, with his Scientology background too, he might just not know. No, this guy lived outside the boundaries of Scientology. He had family, children that played sports. It was no, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
It's like we could, you or I, if we were complete a-holes, wouldn't even be allowed to get away with that because it's not an excuse.
Can you imagine if we had done that? Can you imagine if it was me and you and we were like, guys, we're getting a shot here. Can you F off, please? Thank you. Hi, it's Nora. I'm here. Please don't touch me.
Yeah. It's like having, the new baby in the family and you're telling the older kids, get out of the shot. Get out of the shot.
Yeah. It was just like, it was so odd. The whole thing was odd. And then the unnamed person in the dress with the mask, I don't know who that was. That was super odd. Also, like, why are they just walking behind with them? Again, more entourage-y people. That person stuck out like a sore thumb. Mostly because of their outfit. Mitch, the camera guy, and Alex all dressed in black. And then here comes Rainbow Bright. Like, what is happening? Who is this person? Is Mitch just trying to be like, look, I love gays? I don't know who this person was. Like, I've got a gay with me. I'm safe.
I'm fitting in Hollywood.
Right? Like, it just was like, I don't know. It was so odd. The whole thing was odd. And then Chris had the best line of all time when he's like, what in the royal family just happened? Like that line still gets it. Chris off the cuff is so funny. Is just so and it's just his observations. It's just like a stream of consciousness, real-time observation. And he says the funniest stuff. It's just like, yeah. And I know he's filming. Mitch had mentioned to me in our, kiss and makeup thing, apparently, whatever that we did with Liz, that he was, working on editing a documentary. And like, I know that he's trying to do something with Jeff Levin. I don't know. He might be working on another documentary for the Aftermath Foundation. I don't know. This is all supposition.
Yeah. I had high hopes after that. When you guys did that, I thought, okay, he's getting the message that, hey, it's just what we're looking for is just a little improvement on communication and just maybe some humility. Humble, a lot of things that really keep you humble, and just none of that. And it just got
going to happen though, Natalie, because like he hasn't done the work. He hasn't done the therapy. He hasn't sat and contemplated his responsibility for harming people inside that organization. And it's like, it's easy to remove yourself from that and just be like, well, I was just a blot. Like I was just a word clearer. But I had a huge part in people's lives in going up that bridge to total freedom, in enforcing those beliefs on them, in like making them sit and do the drills and do all this other stuff, supervising them when I was a soup and stuff. And so I take that very seriously. Like, even though people are like, oh, you're just in the courtroom, like, what does that matter? It's like, yeah, I was indoctrinating people daily, children, elderly, regular age people like me and you, just in our 50s. And, But I will say this: we look fabulous for Scientologists, ex-Scientologists who are 50, because the 50-year-olds, if you remember, like when we back in the day, those people look haggard because they were just smoking, and it was like, So I'm proud to be 48 right now and not looking haggard.
Yeah.
Just aged, just like 20 years older than you would expect. And even some SEERG members, because the smoking and the malnutrition, you'd be like, you're 15? I thought you were 47. Like,
yeah, we've seen a lot of that. We've seen, the hunched over look, all of that. Definitely not looking super healthy there in the Sea Org. It was just, but yeah, I agree with you. It could have been handled better, just some communication. Why make it look weirder or be odd or create just a lack of, just communication and respect there when you're already in a hole that you've dug for yourself. And for me, I was just like, okay, I just can't help you at this point. Like I had high hopes. I just, and that's me. I just think I know how much I changed. And I think people can change. They can. But then I'm reminded by people, including people in the therapy world, that it's not so much that it specifically as it applies to me, I did change, but what I did is I took off things that weren't mine.
Right.
It wasn't me in the first place. I figured out who I was, what my temperament was, what my vibe more was, and went with that.
Yeah.
It was really an uncovering so much of a changing. But in my experience, especially being here on YouTube and having so much more exposure to people in the ex-Scientology community, sometimes it's not Scientology. Sometimes you're just an a-hole. That is your personality. You can't blame it all on that. That's like saying
it's
that,
true. It's true.
Yeah, because we're caring and compassionate, that's because of Scientology. Yeah. No,
fuck that. I'm not going to give Scientology credit for any good characteristic that I have. And conversely, I'm not going to blame all of my bad habits on Scientology, because ultimately, like, I just finished reading the book recently. Now I can't remember the title. I'll think of it in like tomorrow when we're talking, or later today. Yeah. But anyway, I just finished this book, and a lot of it has The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Frack.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that book is basically, if you haven't read it, please read that book. It's a frank take on the thing that when you're in therapy, you don't want to hear these two words: radical acceptance.
Yeah.
And it's actually was very cool to read, because I was like, oh, okay. Like I have to, look at it this way, and, just kind of like rearrange my thought process, create some new pathways in the brain here around that. And it is such a refreshing book to read, but that's something that you don't ever do in Scientology. You don't do that. And if you can't look at the things that you have that are positive and negative, just in general, and be like, okay, and then think about like, well, I need to improve this, or I need to pump this up more. You can't make any progress as a human being. And in Scientology, of course, everything that happens to you that's good is because of L. Ron and Scientology, and everything that happens to you that's bad is because of you. Is because you are a degraded being. So it's this weird, constant juxtaposition of, I'm awesome because Scientology is awesome. I'm terrible because I'm a bad person. I need more Scientology to be awesome. And that's how they keep people in. That's how they keep you doing more stuff, because you're going to reach this state of permanent awesome, But yeah, if you haven't seen, people love that book. It's a great book. It's a great book.
The Art of Not Giving an F, right?
Yeah, the subtle art
of not giving
an F. And it's
and
great.
that's the book that's on radical acceptance.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I've heard the audio book is good. I'm gonna get into that.
If you're into audiobooks, he reads it and it's funny. But I read the paper book. When I listen to an audiobook, I start spacing out.
Yeah.
I can't. And then I gotta rewind it. And then if I'm reading a paper book and I space out, I'm like, oh, I got to go back. I started because you spark an idea, and then you're
kind of on that. You got to remember to hit the pause button. Let's go. Thank you for that. Nora, was Seinfeld in Sciento? Bobcat Goldwait said so, but I think he was just trolling Seinfeld.
He was in for a hot second, and then he did the famous Dianetics joke in an episode, which got him in hot water. But then he became besties with Tom Cruise, and everything was fine.
Yeah, that's right. He just won him back over. Well, I am really excited to chat with you later. Nora and I are getting together again today at 1 p.m. Central Time, which is 11 a.m. your time. That's what we landed on, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. With all these time changes. So we will get some notifications out for that. Nora, I love so much that you jumped on here, and I'm super excited to talk to you later on because we are going to take a deeper dive into spilling the tea. I have a list of questions and things that I want to get Nora's take on, and you guys know, it's going to be unfiltered.
Yes.
Just less swear words in the beginning.
I'm going to be as good as I will. I have my finger.
Yeah.
So I will make sure that I myself. Okay.
Good. I love it. And I love you for it. So Nora, I'm going to say goodbye to you now and wrap everything up. And I will see you in a couple hours. Thank you. Always great to have her on. Super excited about chatting with her this afternoon. And you guys, I have a list of questions, things I want to talk about. Nora worked at the Celebrity Center as a word clearer, like she said in the course room. There's a lot of information she has about so many different things. I know what I want to know, but hey, put in the comments or the live chat, or even email me, Natalie@lifeafteraCult.com, and let me know, what do you want to know? What do you want me to ask Nora that we can dive into? Because it's going to be a little bit of a anything goes, but kind of, because so much to cover. So I hope you guys tune in for that. And later on, even later in the day, I'm going to jump onto a live with Aaron from Growing Up in Scientology. So watch for that notification. It's going to be a real busy day around here. Hope to see you all. Please smash that notification bell, the subscribe button, the like button, just so many things to just go poke at around here. Just like it. Thank you guys for being here so much. I will talk to you in a little bit, and I hope you guys get out today and have an amazing cult-free day.